Hi, I'm Madison Ard, and this is my presentation on the Chinese Cultural Revolution. So, first, I wanted to say that I thought it was pretty interesting reading this book, and I thought it was going to be really boring, but it ended up not being, so let's jump into it. So, I want to talk about the people who were kind of executed during the revolution, and that was people who didn't believe in the new ideas, businessmen, intellectuals, and people seen as rightists or anti-communists. The revolution stressed the need to criticize the four olds, which was old thoughts, old customs, old culture, and old morals. And because of all this, there was just a lot of changes during that time. The street names, for example, was changing. They were now not what they used to be, which confused a lot of people, especially the older people who had lived there their whole lives. The streets they once knew were now named something differently. People also were changing their own names because of all the changes that were going on. The revolution wanted to rid society of the old books, paintings, monuments. They just wanted it all gone. That was kind of old ideas. So that angered people, especially when that was something that they knew their whole lives, and now that's being stripped from them. Chairman Mao, he, to me, was seen as a god, and Chairman Mao was basically the leader of the revolution, and people sang songs for him and danced and chanted for all that kind of stuff for him. People could recite long things that he said in books and speeches. And they were required to do so. People, when they would see him, they would cry uncontrollably, almost like a celebrity. And also when Liang Heng marched to see Flatland, they were proud that they were hurting because they were hurting for Chairman Mao. So I thought that was interesting. The Red Guards were soldiers that fought for the revolution, and they performed the raids to get rid of the old books and posters that were in the house that I was talking about. And they were some of them were really hostile, especially when they would do raids. There was a time when they raided Liang Heng's house, and they were really mean to the father because he was against some of the ideas at the beginning of the book, and they beat him, and they even stole his money. And I don't think that was Mao's intention for them to do that. Propaganda was used many times throughout the revolution, and it was used to convert new communist ideas into every aspect of Chinese life. And they consisted of threats, punishments, or death if they rejected the ideas of Mao. And even when Liang Heng was younger, he made posters to kind of criticize his teachers, but then got scolded on it by his father, saying that's not how Mao wanted it to be. He wants them just to reform them, but not to put them down. Discrimination happened a lot during that time. Rebel children could cut in front of Liang Heng when he was in the dining hall, and they could order him to the back of the line or basically to do whatever, and he would have to obey them because they were the rebel kids, and the adults didn't really care, or they encouraged them to do so. There were a lot of family challenges throughout the book. The three children, they wanted nothing to do with the mother because she was seen as a rightist, so they sent her away to a reform labor camp. And Liang Fang, which was Liang Heng's sister, she complained a lot about how her parents affected her because of their choices for not being for the revolution. And also when the counter-revolutionary incident happened with the painting of the wall, Heng was accused of it because of his father, and his father's reputation kind of carried over to him. The reputation of the parents was heavily influenced on the children, and the children were basically seen as their parents. The revolution taking a toll on Liang Heng was, I would say, pretty great, especially when he was 13. His two sisters and his father and his mother, they were all gone, so he was just left in the house alone, and a 13-year-old boy is not going to take care of a house and do all the chores. So he didn't keep up with the house, and he got into drugs and alcohol and fighting. Liang Heng saw a lot of things because of the revolution. He saw rape and dead bodies just kind of lying around, and bloody beatings, and that's not what a young child should have to see. So I think the Cultural Revolution was supposed to be a little bit more peaceful, and I think that it should have been, but it wasn't. A lot of people saw it, they were being very hostile for it, instead of wanting more peaceful reform, which I think Mao really wanted, but ended up not going that way. So that is all. Thanks for watching. Bye!